Now we play a game.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Virtual Redban number 676, the Xbox refresh leak. That's right, there was a leak, and it was actually leaked by Microsoft. And we get a look at the upcoming Xbox refresh, and we'll talk about that, even a new controller. But hey, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Virtual Redban. I'm drinking my first drink of the night out of my Death Squad mug, wearing my Death Squad hat, double Death Squad. How you guys doing? Cheers to you guys if you're having a little adult beverage. If you want to get any of that Death Squad merch, including this hat and the mug I'm drinking out of, you can always go to deathsquad.tv. That's right, the official Death Squad website where you can find everything, and including right on top, you can find shopsquad.tv, which has the Death Squad mugs, shirts, hats, a bunch of new stuff in stock right now. So you want to come over here and check out everything that's new. And at deathsquad.tv, you could also find every episode of Kill Tony, including the audio and video portions of the show. Man, if you didn't see yesterday's episode of Kill Tony with H. Foley and Kevin Ryan from the Are You Garbage podcast, what a fun treat that was. Great episode. I loved this episode. We also found a new golden ticket winner during this episode. And there's some funny stuff, including something with this girl right here. But no, I love H. Foley and Kevin Ryan. They are so great. They are perfect for this show. And this episode just had a lot of funny people in it, including this guy right here. He was great. And of course, you got to check out what this guy does. Oh, gosh. This is Nick Diaz. Or Nick. Yeah, is that right? Yeah. Nick Diaz. And of course, William and Cam and everybody just killed this episode. So check it out. This is episode number 628 on Kill Tony. You can go to youtube.com/KillTony. Or you could just go to deathsquad.tv, and we have the YouTube page links here. We got all the episodes here. And you could also click on Sunset Strip Comedy Club, which is my comedy club in Austin, Texas. You can go to sunsetstripatx.com for the full schedule. Tomorrow we have the Kill Tony Band. That's right, the whole band is doing their bi-weekly show. So if you just want to come out and have some drinks and listen to some amazing music, come support the band. They're like amazing musicians, and if you haven't heard them just jam out before, it is a treat. Also Thursday though is my secret show, and this week packed. There are so many people in Austin this week. Friends from LA, friends from New York. This is going to be a big one. So you don't want to miss out. Tomorrow or Thursday, the Death Squad Secret Show, every single Thursday at the Sunset Strip, sunsetstripatx.com for the full entire schedule. It just shows every freaking night. And all these links can be found at, of course, deathsquad.tv. Boom. Easy cheesy. You can also email me or send me a P.O. box right there. Boink. All right, guys. How are you guys doing in the chat room tonight? It's an early one tonight. It's an early one. It's an early one. I like doing these early ones better. I don't know why. I don't know. There's just something about when you're doing such a long, like Virtual Redban's so long, you know, I'm in VR usually like 5 hours, 5.5 hours. It's kind of nice when you get out of VR and it's like, oh, it's only 2 a.m. As crazy as that sounds, right? Okay, so let's start off by talking about this Xbox thing. Now, this isn't virtual reality, but whatever. It's all in the same fam. You might have heard recently Xbox was trying to buy Activision. And there's this big thing where, you know, the courts are saying, no, you can't buy. The Federal Trade Commission tried to get to stop it, to block the company from acquiring them, you know, for whatever reason they do. But in the court case, which, by the way, the Federal Trade Commission lost. So, congrats, Xbox. But in that, Xbox had to show like all this like secret information to fight this case. And in that, they leaked pretty much themselves their roadmap for the next 10 years. Anyways, you know, of course, it's always subject to change. But it was uploaded by the Northern District Court of California as part of the massive trove of undated documents. A strategy roadmap for the Xbox brand through 2020 or 2030 points to the planned release of the Series S refresh, a Series X refresh, and a new controller. Now, this is nothing new. When an Xbox comes out, or a PlayStation, or a Nintendo, usually about halfway through the life cycle, they'll release, you know, in the past, Xbox has released a Pro. You know, remember that? The Xbox Pro. Or, you know, they'll release a smaller version, like a PlayStation Slim. And they usually do just minor tweaks and adjustments. And, you know, maybe not normally do they make it where the graphics is better, but, you know, for the Pro, they did kind of make it so that the games will look a little bit better if you bought a Pro. But the problem I have with this whole thing is that unheard of ever since the Xbox came out and the PlayStation, it is still, to this day, not the easiest thing to get an Xbox. Every time I go to Target, every time I go somewhere out, like to a store, I always check. Like, hey, do they have any Xboxes? Do they have any PlayStations? And usually they have like the Xbox S, which is that, you know, cheaper version of the Xbox, not as powerful. But usually they don't have them in stock. Now, I have seen PlayStations on sale online here and there. But, you know, I just checked before we went live. I went to Amazon, and right now, they don't even have an Xbox Series X still in stock. It is saying that it will ship October 3rd to October 12th. And, you know, there hasn't been any price. It's pretty much the exact same price it's always been. Now, if you check the Diablo bundle, is that in stock? Well, it comes out, so you can get it in some days, September 24th, if you get 2 games with it. All right, September 27th, that's next week. Starfield bundle? Starfield bundle? No. See, all these are not like next day. Like you could still buy one, you know, but if you just want a Series X, it will take you 1 to 4 weeks, which, you know, that's still, it's not as readily available as it usually is. Usually, by now, in the past, like say for a PlayStation 4, it's been like 3 years since the PlayStation 5 came out. After about 3 years, though, if you know, back in the day, if you were to get a PlayStation 4 now, 3 years later, not only would it be discounted, it would be cheaper. You'd probably get some free games, a free controller. They would probably have like newer paint scheme, you know, like, oh, you could buy a red PlayStation now or something. But that hasn't really been the case with Xbox and PlayStation 5 because of the chip shortage and because of COVID and whatever it is. They've actually stayed the same price and they're still pretty hard to find. So it is kind of weird to think that they are already thinking about a refresh. Now, the documents actually have a render, which might not be like a real photo, but they go through what the difference is of this new PlayStation or Xbox will be. They have a little thing here at the top that pretty much just explains it. It's nicknamed Brooklyn. That's the code name for it. That's, it's not what it's going to be called. It's going to probably be called the Xbox Series X refresh or XL or something like that. Anyways, Brooklyn, the new Xbox, will deliver 4K Gen 9 console gaming with more internal storage, faster Wi-Fi, reduced power, and a more immersive controller and beautiful design that elevates the all-digital experience of the Xbox ecosystem. Yes, you might notice this refresh doesn't have a disk drive, which I can't stand. I am not a fan of the full digital versions of systems. I think it's a shame. I like buying the disc still. I don't believe in just buying and downloading it for the most part. Sometimes I just give in because I'm like, I just want to play the game now. But I don't like the move, and they're definitely moving towards this more and more of not having a disc drive. In this design, which they say is a beautiful redesign, is it though? I mean, it just looks like a black turd. You know what it looks like? I just happen to have one right here. It looks like those Western Digital external hard drives. That's like this thing that I have right here. You know, these external hard drives, it pretty much looks like a fat version of that. And I actually have an external hard drive that's fatter. That's like 2 of them. That looks exactly like that somewhere. So yeah, I'm not digging the beautiful redesign. I think that the old one like actually looks better. This just looks like a black piece of plastic. This is stupid. Now I do like the idea of having a system that can hide in your entertainment system. I don't really like the PlayStation. It looks crazy. The PlayStation 5. While I do admire that they went and did something different, it's a pain in the ass. It looks stupid, next to all your electronics and your stereo. You're like, what is this weird ass thing? So I do like that it is kind of like mellow, like it's just kind of supposed to hide into your system. It's not, look at me. I kind of do like that, but I don't think this is like any kind of amazing, beautiful redesign. Now, some notes that it says it's going to have a beautiful new design, more internal storage. It's going to go up to 2 terabytes. It's going to have a USB-C in the front with power delivery. So I don't know if you could tell on this at all. It's not the best graphic. There's a little USB-C here. So you can kind of tell how tall this is if you just look at a USB-C on your phone or something like that and see how big it is. I'd probably say 4 of them make an inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's about, I'm guessing 8 inches high. Maybe, roughly. So it is going to be smaller, it seems like, than the current one. It's got an all-new controller, which we'll talk about in a second. It's going to stay the same price at $500. Now, the updated technologies in it, it's got an all-new sound bridge to modernize the I/O and sustainability efforts. Jesus. Which I don't even know what that is. It's got a new Wi-Fi 6E radio for better throughput, latency, and interface mitigation. It's got new Bluetooth 5.2 for improved accessory experiences. And it's got a 6 nanometer die shrink for improved efficiency. So the 6 nanometer, I guess is what it is, whatever that is, that should just make everything run a little bit better. Not probably faster. There's probably not going to be any differences for faster. Everything might run a little bit better. The Bluetooth 5.2, that's great. Make things connect better. Your controllers or accessories just work a little bit better. The Wi-Fi 6E, sure, it's a little bit faster. If you have a Wi-Fi 6E router, that is, which a lot of people probably don't. But nothing here at all sounds like, oh, this is a must get. You know what I mean? None of this is anything that I would care about. Now, it does have a reduced PSU power by 15%. So it is saving you money on power, I guess. And then the new low power standby mode is 20% of the current XSS standby mode. And increased use of PCR and housing to whatever. 100% recyclable packaging, which see, none of this gives, none of this screams, this is worth getting, except maybe if you want it 2 terabytes, but you could like add your own hard your SSD to the current one. So nothing here. Now they did say something about a reporter or a new controller, a reporter, which I'm a little bit more for this because one thing, as you know, the PlayStation controller, which I just happen to have one here, one of my favorite things, like this controller alone, and just how I just love everything about this new PlayStation controller, was something that I think really pushed me to be this generation to start playing with PlayStation more than Xbox. I've been always more of an Xbox guy until this round of consoles. This round of consoles, I have barely touched my Xbox, unfortunately. I have been using my PlayStation 99% more than my Xbox. And I think it's because of the controller. I just enjoy the controller so much this time around. And Xbox, when they released their new system, they didn't really do anything massive to the controller. So, and I think they know that. I think a lot of people have been kind of talking about how good the PlayStation controller is and how lackluster the Xbox controller. So here's the new Xbox controller. Now this, you could, oh, I didn't even know I could click on that. That makes it so much easier. As Play Anywhere, which I don't know what this means. Oh, I guess you can use it on your Xbox. You could use it just as a Bluetooth controller, direct to cloud. As a new mobile app features, you could see the paired devices and cloud, manage devices and accessory. I don't see. Anyways, here's the thing I like. Precision haptic feedback. So it looks like they're going to hopefully improve on that. VCA haptics double as speakers. As a accelerometer on it. Oh my God. Accelerometer? Why can't I say that right now? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Quieter buttons and thumbsticks. It's got a rechargeable and a swappable battery, recycled materials, less resin, repair, and disassembly. New modular thumbsticks, improved longevity, continued build improvements, engage and delight. You could lift to wake it up. You don't have to, I guess, push a button anymore. You just pick it up. And it's the same as all the other stuff. Anyways, what's good about that is, an improved controller of any kind seems better. The controller will be two-toned, come with a rechargeable and replaceable battery. But more importantly, Microsoft's internal strategy documents claim it will offer precision haptic feedback, quieter buttons and thumbsticks, and an accelerometer. The controller will also apparently turn on simply by picking it up, and it'll be priced at $70. So a better controller, that's fine, that's good. But according to the roadmap, the controller will arrive in May, followed by the Series S refresh in September and the Series X refresh in November of next year. And any power upgrade to its current consoles prior to the next hardware generation suggests that it's currently planned for So the next Xbox, like the Xbox, not a refresh, should be in 2028, which is about exactly about when it should. Anyways, Sony, on the other hand, is currently reportedly working on the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's not sure what the specs are for that. But if it's anything like the Pro was last time, we could see a graphics bump, which this console doesn't seem like it's going to have any kind of graphics bump. It's more of like better Wi-Fi, better Bluetooth, better power. So there you go. Nothing that exciting. There is a photo, which I don't know why this article is not showing it, but I saw they also have a photo of the Xbox S refresh. Xbox leak, which is, does it show it? No one wants to show the S. Anyways, the S wasn't any different. I don't know. Well, there was a photo of an S somewhere going around, but it was nothing special. I don't know why it's not showing it. Here is the launch timeline, though, where it's showing September, yeah, late August, whatever. Well, there you go. Nothing that exciting, guys. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see what will happen. I'm more interested to see that when Microsoft, or I mean, when Sony releases theirs, if they're going to have it so it's a little bit more powerful, while the Xbox is just like, no, we're just refreshing the Bluetooth. I think that's more interesting to me. Interesting enough, though, as far as I can see, in this huge leak, they said nothing about VR. They did say something about they were considering or throwing around the idea of buying Nintendo at one point, Microsoft, and Valve. That was two other companies that they were, like Activision, thinking about purchasing, which is interesting. Xbox buying Nintendo, I don't think that would ever happen. I don't think Nintendo would be like, no, how about we buy you, bitch? You know, like, I don't think it's going to be anything like that. Thoughts on going all digital, not being able to play games if the service goes down? Exactly. That's the problem with all digital. Like, if you say, like, you want to play a game and your internet's down, or what if, down the line, Microsoft goes out of business and you just can't play all the games you bought? At least with physical copies, you could still put the game in. Now, I have noticed recently, which is disturbing to me, they've actually been selling games where you put it into your console and it says you must download an update before you can play. I think that's scary. I've never seen that before. Games should not have that. When you buy a physical copy, it shouldn't. I mean, what's it? It's not even a physical copy. What is this? You're just buying a plastic box. I mean, if you even put in a game and it won't play, it automatically says you have to download an update first. That's fudged up. So, other news. This is something I wanted to talk about. Now, we've talked about this headset before. I've actually owned or purchased this or pre-ordered this. Unfortunately, I pre-ordered it too late, so I won't get mine until later this year. But they started shipping their headsets recently. We have talked about this. It's called the Big Screen Beyond. It's the world's smallest VR headset. It's super lightweight. It's got really good displays, OLED displays. It also has it where you scan your face using your iPhone, your LiDAR sensor on your iPhone or whatever it is. You scan your face so that when you get it and you send them your information from the scan, and so when you get it, it just fits to your face perfectly, and which is great for if I'm playing my headset. But if I want to like have a friend play it, it's a bad idea. I wasn't actually going to buy this, but I've heard so many good reviews about this prior to it being released that I was like, you know what? I should try it out, at least so I could try it out and talk to you guys about it. It is very small. Look at that, how small it is. It's 6 times lighter than any other VR headset. It's just very light, and I guess it's just when you put it on and you look at it, it's just amazing. I heard it's some of the best VR. And of course, here's a bunch of reviews or people that have used it. But recently, this guy right here on the very left, Adam Savage, 10 hours ago, released a new video where he reviews the Big Screen Beyond and versus the Pimax Crystal. Now, I'm more wanting to hear what he thinks about the Big Screen Beyond, because he's one of the first people that I've seen that has reviewed it since it's come out, like since it started being delivered. So I thought maybe we could just take a quick look at this. And, if you want to watch the whole video, go to Adam Savage's Tested for the full video. But let's see what he says. Just kind of skip around a little bit in this video.
From Tested, and well, we're about 1 week away from Meta Connect, and for the first time in a couple of years, I'll be there in person covering the event. We all expect for Meta to announce the Quest 3, though what that headset will be still to be announced and determined, although I expect it to probably be similar to the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro in that it'll be a standalone VR headset. It'll have hardware built internally and a battery to run games locally from the Quest store, as well as the ability to have the best visual fidelity possible, not only tapping into the full power of a dedicated graphics card, whether plugging into a high-end gaming laptop or your 3000 and 4000 series NVIDIA card, DisplayPort plugins right into your gaming PC, but also having the best panels for the best resolution, the best angular resolution in headset to have those imperceptible pixels and get rid of screen door effect completely. The Quest Pro doesn't do that. No standalone VR headset does that yet. That's still in the realm of the dedicated PC VR space. And so the two headsets I have in front of me have that shared goal of the most immersive, the best visual.
Look at the differences on sizes here. You got the big screen here on the left. Look how small it is. And it's going against maybe the biggest headset you can possibly buy. I mean, Pimax has always gone crazy, the opposite direction. They've gone insanely big. I have one of their headsets over there somewhere. I never use it, but yeah.
Fidelity of a VR experience, of a PC VR experience, but tackle them with completely different approaches. I'm of course talking about the Big Screen Beyond, which just
looking at it, it looks so sexy, doesn't it?
Started shipping last week. Congratulations to that Big Screen team. And the Pimax Crystal, this headset here, which Pimax has been shipping to its backers over the past couple months and updating its software and even some of the hardware. Actually, on both these devices, we've seen some updates. You can tell they're vastly different devices. Their differences also very interesting. In terms of their approaches not only to the panels, but their design philosophies, what they may have. If you invested in a Valve Index and you're in that Lighthouse tracked ecosystem, you have base stations, you have the Knuckles controllers, this will work right out of the box with that. If you don't have that, you'll need to buy those accessories because there's no inside.
I'm telling you right now, though, just showing him plug that USB or this display port, whatever this is, into... That looks like it will be pulled out pretty easily. I wish there was some kind of locking mechanism on this. This just seems like you accidentally snag your cable and that thing's just going to fly right out. I mean, look at that.
This will work right out of the box with that.
That just doesn't seem like a great idea.
If you don't have that, you'll need to buy those accessories because there's no inside-out tracking here. There's no controllers that come with this. The $1,000 you're spending is essentially for the display. You're spending it. Think of this as the VR equivalent of buying a high-end gaming monitor. You still got to buy your accessories to run that. But what a gaming monitor! What a display this is.
Doesn't look great on this side. This kind of looks weird to me. Like that material just kind of looks like, I don't know, like you found an old rag in the garage or something.
It's two micro OLED panels, 2560 by 2560 resolution per eye, and with their own custom pancake optics, now with a pixels per degree, an angular resolution of 31 pixels per degree when you're looking right down the center at the sweet spot and the center of the panel and lenses. Compared to your Quest Pro, Quest 2, those are still in the 20s in terms of pixels per degree. No one's using micro OLED panels except for big screen and the big screen beyond and Apple's Vision Pro, but that won't be shipping next year. And that
I mean, obviously he's filming what we're watching right now, like on his phone through his headset. But that looks pretty freaking good, doesn't it?
That's an even higher resolution panel. That's a whole different category device in the standalone headset because that's locked into Apple's ecosystem. And we don't even know if that would work with PCVR at this point. My assumption is no. But it's not just the type of panel and the resolution that big screen's going for, it's also form factor. And this is by far the lightest VR headset I've ever used. Without this gasket, the facial interface, which we'll talk about, 127 grams. So the comparison I like to give is that this is lighter than a Quest 2 controller with the battery inside.
That's pretty impressive. It is lighter than a Quest 2 controller.
If you have that, pick that up. That's how light this headset is. Combined with the head strap, the soft head strap, and the face gasket, it goes up to about 185 grams max. Mine is about 180 grams because everyone's going to have a different weighted facial interface because it's actually carved to your face. So as you recall, to get this manufactured, you have to use an iOS device with the Face ID sensor. You can run it out of Apple Store. They'll send you an email with a web applet link. You open that up, and in under 5 minutes, you've scanned your face, you've sent that geometry over to big screen, and through their custom manufacturing, they will mill out this silicone gasket, which has magnetic attachments. So actually a little bit of plastic inside here as well. That just easily snaps onto the headset and it perfectly conforms to your face. So whether it's the full headset or just the gasket itself, the surface area, the amount of contact it's making with your face is such that you're not only getting no light bleed at all, is a complete light seal on here, but also even with this relatively small rectangle, it's enough to support the head.
It's going to be interesting to see, like if I get this scan for my face and try to have my girlfriend use it, how much of a difference? Like, will she still be able to play? Will it still be able to work for her? Or is it just going to be like, no, it's just uncomfortable. It's
headset, this 127 grams in front of your face so that you don't basically feel the headset of wearing, basically displays and lenses and plastic on my face. Now, since I last previewed this, Big Screen has addressed some of the issues I had with it. Not all of them, but let's talk about what's changed. There's a whole new optics system that they actually announced a couple months ago that they were able to implement and get manufactured for the shipping units. And so while the preview units I had a field of view of roughly 90 degrees, the latest optics here have a horizontal field of view of 102 degrees.
Oh, that's good. They went up on that. That's great.
Able to go do some A/B testing with that preview pre-production unit and this now shipping unit, and it is a noticeable difference, that extra 12 degrees on total on your left and right on your periphery. That's the difference between, I think maybe less so in games. When I'm playing a game, 90 degrees I feel like is sufficient when I'm just immersed in the action in front of me. Where I felt like it made the biggest difference was watching media. So if I'm in a virtual cinema environment, like a big screen environment, and I'm in a grand cinema, I'm in my favorite seat, the seat I would pick if I was booking a seat in the local Dolby Theater, and I'm watching a giant screen, no longer do I have to actually turn my head to see the edges of that screen. It actually fills my entire
that's way
field
better.
of view and allows me to watch whether it's Disney Plus shows. So one of the things I'm curious about is what compromises do they have to make to get that extra field of view. And again, doing those A/B test comparisons, the sweet spot seems exactly the same, which is to say that when you're looking to the edges, if you're moving your eyes around, it does fade off in clarity at the end, but fades off in clarity at the edges pretty similarly between the two versions, and I didn't notice any additional pupil swim at all or any kind of
that's good.
distortions.
So pretty much
you do have the still similarly the same amount of glare that I saw in the earlier units, which is unavoidable, they say, with the amount of polarization that they have to do and the kind of their optic stack. And I still would best describe that as something that's like kind of like having smudgy glasses. It's I think pretty noticeable in.
Yeah, that happens in every headset for the most part. You just see kind of like a glow to stuff, when it's high contrast things like white lines and blackness and stuff like that. But I think making the field of view bigger is always better. When it was originally 90, that was another reason I was like, that seems kind of small. But having it up over 100, that's actually really good.
High contrast scenes. So watching a movie, watched the latest Ahsoka episode on because it's the craft, the head control. It's a pretty rigid cable that I was happy to deal with and happy to live with because I was so immersed in the video and the content in front of me. Now this is still a tethered PC VR headset, so you do have a cable that plugs into your PC. This is a USB-C fiber optic cable. It's a pretty rigid cable, and so you kind of wire it around the back of the head strap. The head strap very easily clicks in, and then you plug the cable in. I've learned to give the cable a little bit of slack because the cable itself is so rigid where that if you didn't give it the slack and you move your head around, it could actually risk separating that connection.
It needs a lock.
Big Screen also has decided to include for everyone a top strap option, which I found really helpful, just taking a little bit of extra weight off. It made those cinematic experiences, those viewing durations that much more comfortable. Although something that they did notice, and I noticed, is that some of the early batches that they shipped to users did have some weaker plastic in the back through that little cable grabber here, and so in mine it did snap off. Now Big Screen did tell me they are proactively reaching out to those users and sending them replacement head straps. And I also found that users have since designed their own cable clips that work with the head strap. And I would recommend, if you have a 3D printer, printing up a couple of these. I have these printed in PETG, and I really like the ones that fully cradle the cable, so I have 2 of those attached to the back of the head strap, so there's no wiggling around, and it's really nice and secure. They're also shipping a hard strap option with built-in audio, so this doesn't have built-in audio. You're using your own earbuds, your own headphones, over-the-head headphones, but one with built-in audio option will be shipping by the end of the year for $100. And it's really a bespoke headset, so it's made for you. Not only is it made for your facial interface, but you also send your interpupillary distance to 72 millimeters. Although if you have long eyelashes and you want the face relief to be thicker, they can accommodate that. Or if you want a very minimal eye relief and you want to press your pupils right against the panel,
that's how I like it.
They can make custom face relief modules for you as well. And they are working on one that will be absorbent, because this one does not absorb any sweat at all. Ooh. So for fitness activities, you want something that 31 pixel per degree, and a headset with lower pixels per degree. Games look so much better. Even a multi-year-old game now like Half-Life Alyx, still a high bar for fidelity in the geometry, in the textures, and the lighting. Everything looks so much better when you have more pixels, when you can see the textures, you can read the fine.
Look at his dirty fingernails.
Print, and you can see all the detail the game designers and the artists put in that. That is the reason you have a headset with this type of panel. Watching media is something that I didn't fully appreciate with my earlier preview unit. I'm doing a lot more of in this review unit, and I love watching movies in high resolution, high bitrate content in a virtual cinema. And it's also the case where I do notice the difference between that 75 hertz and 90 hertz. I know since I did my preview video, there's been a lot of chatter about what the differences are in that 75 hertz mode and the 90 hertz mode. And it's true. In 90 hertz, to get a full 90 hertz mode, you have to run your GPU at a 1920 by 1920 resolution per eye that's then upscaled. So the panels here are always running at native resolution, 2560 by 2560, but it is an upscaled image to get that bandwidth over the DisplayPort 1.4 connection. Now, in games, unless you're doing an A/B comparison, unless you know for a fact, and it's not noticeable. Playing a game, running it with super sampling in Steam VR, the games are look fantastic. I'm immersed in the action. The places where I did notice the difference between upscaling and the native resolution is in media, in playing specifically 4K media, high bitrate 4K media. If you have a scene where a person's filling up a giant cinema screen and you have hair, I can tell the difference between hair that's native resolution on a 4K image and hair that, while looks, you can see the individual strands, isn't as sharp and it's a little smooth out when it's upscaled in the upscaled version. So when I'm using this headset, I'm using the big screen desktop utility to switch between 75 hertz and 90 hertz. For games, I'm at 90 hertz. I want those extra frames. The low persistence on this makes it super smooth. When I'm watching video, I'm going to actually go to 75 hertz. And when I'm using virtual desktop, similarly, I'm also going to 75 hertz.
Oh no, fast forward is right.
Because the sweet spot on the lenses, I think, is still relatively small. If you're moving your eyes around, you will see a degradation in the clarity. It does get is that you're still doing a little bit of squinting to read that text, and you're not getting the best or FPS. And so if you're watching, again, a movie at 20 fresh rates and change potentially the also game-changing for this headset. For movies, even though you may get a little bit more of that pixel smear, I'm not moving my head a lot at 75 hertz. I'm bumping like I'm in a cinema. It's the first time I felt like, wow, VR cinemas can actually be a comparable replacement and a viable replacement to going to the theater. I may never be able to watch, Avengers Endgame in IMAX again, but to have a high bitrate 4K version of that, you can have
That's
that
cool.
IMAX experience in headset. And of course, big screen lets you watch movies with your friends.
And you can watch it in 3D. So if you saw like the Avengers in the IMAX movie theater and you're like, man, that was cool seeing in the IMAX. What he's saying is that this thing made it look so good that is just as good as seeing a movie in an IMAX theater. But you could also, because it's VR, you could also see 3D movies. So if you get your hands on a 3D copy of Avengers, and watching it, that might be badass. I kind of want to do that with Avatar too.
Index 4 years ago, and you have those base stations, it's a no-brainer, I think, to pick up Big Screen Beyond. No one else is using micro OLEDs. No one else is bold enough to do this type of custom gasket. I don't see anyone doing that. And if you're a sim gamer, if you want to spend a lot of time, honestly, in VR, this is the best way to go.
Cool.
Which brings us to...
Well, there we go. I'll let you, if you want to watch him now compared to the Pimax Crystal, check out Adam Savage's Tested, and that is the Retina VR Quest Big Screen Beyond versus Pimax Crystal review. It's posted today on Adam Savage's Tested. So he's saying he loves it, especially if you already own the hardware, the base stations, the controllers. Just how light it is, and the fact that, he's saying this is like... And what other reviewers have said about this is that it is so good that there's a huge difference when you're looking at this compared to what's out there right now, mostly because of the OLED, the displays that it's using. And the only other thing, like he said, they're the only ones that are using that technology except one other person, and that's Apple. When Apple releases their Apple Vision Pro early next year, that's going to be their biggest competition because Apple's going to be doing it now. And there's been some fun things that just came out today. Tim Cook, another Tim Cook story. Sorry, I'm drinking and burping so much. I'm usually not this bad. I just had some pizza, and it's really done a number on me. Tim Cook says that he watched the entire third season of Ted Lasso on Apple Vision Pro. Now, Ted Lasso is an Apple TV show, and the Vision Pro is an Apple headset. Did he really watch the whole season in this? Maybe. Supposedly, there has already been reports that he's been using it a lot, is what he's been saying. But just like that review we just saw of the big screen beyond, where he said that it was the closest he ever felt to watching a movie in IMAX, that's how good the display is. He recommends it. It's lightweight. He can sit there and watch movies all the time now in it. Well, that's the same thing with this Apple Vision Pro, using the same kind of screen technology, probably better if I'm were to guessing. But Apple CEO Tim Cook says I watched the entire season of the show Ted Lasso in Vision Pro. Cook told CBS News that he uses the Apple Vision Pro on a regular basis, giving his Ted Lasso watching as an example. Watching traditional media and playing traditional games was one of the core use cases for the Vision Pro pitched when it was introduced. The headset's Vision OS displays the content on a giant virtual screen, giving you the choice between your real room or a virtual environment. Look, see, here's this example below. They're watching a space movie, and she's just in her living room eating her popcorn, and and she's watching this huge screen, and she's on the moon or she's at a beach. And she can make it as big as she wants. So now, instead of having to buy a big screen TV, you don't even need a TV. If you want to watch a movie, you just put on your Vision Pro and make a drive-in movie theater in your small one-bedroom living room. Some early testers of the device have reportedly found it too heavy to be comfortable for that extended use, though, a potential concern. Now, the big screen beyond, which we just saw, supposedly is as light as a controller. So, yeah. This is probably going to be a little heavier because I think it's got like a glass face and stuff, right? The front heavy feeling is also a problem with many other existing headsets. Meta and many third parties sell rigid replacement straps for the Quest 2 with a counterweight to better distribute the weight on your head. For example, Apple appears to be trying to support its headset's weight with only a fabric headband. But the company is reportedly considering selling a top strap. Vision Pro is reportedly the most complicated device Apple has ever designed, and Sony can reportedly only make enough ultra high-end resolution micro displays for less than 500,000 units per year. CBS News also asked Cook about those potential roadblocks and whether they would delay the launch. Cook said producing the Vision Pro is more complex than an iPhone and required innovation in the manufacturing, but also said it's still on track to ship in the United States early next year. So they're only going to be selling 500,000. They can only make 500,000 of these things a year, which is very concerning because, that's not many. So when this thing gets announced, if it's going to be hard to get one for a while is what I'm saying. So if you have any interest in this, luckily it's so expensive that I think a lot of people are not going to be interested in this, but 500,000 is not many people. You know how little 500,000 people is? That's not many people. That's like not many at all. 500,000. Well, that's crazy. Anyways, Apple is also introducing something new when it comes to Apple Vision Pro that we've been talking about a lot lately, and that's the idea to do these cool things with your Vision Pro. And that's not only the Vision Pro or the Vision Pro that's coming out, but the new iPhone update allows you to do some cool shit also that I'm sure is going to be somehow incorporated into the Vision Pro. We've heard about those new videos that's like making 3D movies and stuff like that. Well, this is cool. Apple introducing object capture. Create 3D models with your iPhone and convert USDZ to other formats. Pretty much you can turn photos now, because of this new update, you can turn photos into 3D objects a lot easier. Turn your photos from your iPhone into high-quality 3D models that are optimized for AR using Apple's new Object Capture API. Object Captures uses photogrammetry to turn a series of pictures taken on your device into USDZ files that can be viewed in AR. So yeah, how do you create the project? Well, this tells you right here. Look at all this. You pretty much need all this. Anyways, as an example, as you see in this picture, see this woman is taking a picture of a chair. And it's probably going to make her walk around this chair. But look, now this chair is a 3D model that she can now go home and take that chair and place it where she wants, just to see if it would look good where she wants. And she did this all on her iPhone. You can do a bunch of this stuff. You can making these 3D models is never been easier now. If you want to know more, just Google search object capture for Apple. It's using, I believe, the new iOS update that came out today or something like that. Yeah. So that's interesting. Fun stuff. Oh, shit. There's a lot. What did I miss? Once, thanks Frank Poe for gifting a membership. Hell yeah. Welcome, Primetologist. You are now a member of the exclusive members only club on my YouTube for deleted videos, blog videos, and new stuff all the time. Oh shit, Daps Z325. Thanks for years of entertainment you helped build. Love you, bud. Thanks for the $5 tip, Daps. Goat eggs. Holy shit. Thank you, buddy. $20. Goal. Thank you, Goat Egg, for the tippy poo. Fun stuff. Yeah, that is cool. I want to fudge around with some of that, making 3D models. Like that'd be cool just to like take, 3D models of like the mugs I sell on Shop Squad, and have it so you guys can just download it, and then you guys could just like open it up, kind of like a filter, and you could just be like, oh, there, that's what the mug would look like on my kitchen counter. I'm too poor to buy a mug, but at least I can just take photos like I have the mug on my counter. All right. And I got a couple of just random VR news things that we can look at. You guys doing okay in the chatty chat? How much am I seeking for the hat? Why don't you go to shopsquad.tv and look for yourself, you lazy bitch. Also, we talked about, I wasn't going to talk about this. Maybe I can find something real quick. You guys remember when we talked about that Unity thing? Like Unity pretty much is becoming the devil overnight, charging all these video game makers, small up and coming game developers, and just really showing how gross and horrible they are. Anyways, Unity got fudged on the internet. Everybody calling out Unity. Every YouTuber, blogger, game developers are pulling out from Unity. Even Unreal has been like, well, let us step up and see if we can help you guys out. We don't like this either. Well, look at this. Unity apologize for confusion and angst caused by new runtime fee. Yeah, they came out and pretty much, we're sorry. We didn't mean any of it. No, please don't hate us. Please. But yeah, they said that they're going to make a statement. We've heard you. We apologize for the confusion and angst. The runtime fee policy we announced on Tuesday caused. We are listening, talking to our team members, community, customers, and partners, and we'll be making changes to the policy. So hopefully they just go back to how you were. I guess we'll find out soon, but I guess they heard. They heard. Is that how the kids say it? They heard. Yeah, the image they used for that is pretty funny. I mean, like, they were like, okay, we need to find a picture of like the CEO. Oh, we heard. Man, look at that guy's hair. beautiful hair for that guy. How old is this guy? Look at his hair. Doesn't that seem like that's an implant or something? Because that looks like, how old is this guy? How old is David Paul Morris? Hey Siri, how old is David Paul Morris? Oh, he's 62. Damn, that's great hair for 62. Come on, David. I know where all your money's going to. It's getting pieces of hair pushed into the top of your skull to do that firework display that you have going on there. That's a beautiful firework. And those eyebrows, you're like, no, you're not thinning my eyebrows, ma'am. You keep my eyebrows how they are. And I'm going to put some product in my eyebrows so they stay together and look like a big tumble. I don't know what that is. I was going to say like a branch, a tree branch or something. Whatever. He looks like he doesn't smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes smoke him. You know? She doesn't smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes smoke her. Barbie is back. Stupid. Squid Game multiplayer VR game coming to Sandbox locations in September. Yes, Sandbox. You know that popular place you can go to with all your friends? It's like Chuck E. Cheese for adult where you all play VR together in a room while nerds watch you with helmets on. Is that location-based VR destination, and it's announcing that its multiplayer experience based on the hit Netflix show Squid Games is coming to Sandbox VR locations starting September 29th. The studio, which develops all the VR content in-house, says we can also expect surprising new twists that expand on the world of the series. And after each game, players will get a personalized highlight video of how dumb and nerdy you look, capturing their virtual in-game reactions and recapping how their own Squid Game unfolded. Since the original article was published, Sandbox has grown to over 40 global locations, 18 of which launched in the last 12 months. Now, there is no video, there's no trailer, there's nothing about this. I don't even know what this just happened here. What is this? Select my locations. What are you doing to me, lady? Can I?
Oh my God.
Testers, welcome to the Virtuals competition.
This is a trailer.
Round 1.
Red light.
Remember, performing the wrong command will result in your elimination.
Oh my God! Whoa!
Not gonna lie.
Let me just set the premise really
calm down. Not gonna lie, that looked badass. I mean, sure, you could do this right now in VR chat. We do this all the time in virtual reality, but there is something about going with your boys, hanging out with your boys, and then you're playing this with your friends, you know? That's kind of fun.
Competition. Round 1.
Red light.
Oh, they shot Johnny! That's kind of messed up, right? Look at the girl in the background. She seems scared shipless. She's like, where's my boat? By the way, if you've been watching Virtual Redban for the last day or so, the last episode, you might know that I'm trying not to curse as much. And I was doing it last night at Kill Tony. It is so hard to do when you're at a bar drinking. But it was funny because I was telling other comics about what I was doing, and they tried to do it, and it's really hard, man. I told Janice this last night, but she's like, it's not hard for her because Janice never curses. But if you curse a lot, try to catch yourself for like 24 hours. Anytime you curse, you can't curse. You have to change it. Like, so if you're about to say something, you have to, in the middle of saying it, you have to be like, ship, you know, ship monkey, you know. Try to do it. It's hard. you might even catch yourself. You might, and what's crazy is you might even catch yourself, not catch yourself is what I'm saying. You might be doing it, and that's why you got to tell your friend that you're doing, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, because I remember I cursed earlier in this episode, and I just remembered I did it. Like I have this like filter that's running nonstop, like a teeny part of my brain is using like 1 watt, and it's just running like a filter. If it catches me curse, it's so hard to do.
Remember.
And if you're black, try not to say the N word. Like I want to tell Cam, you can't say the N word all day. Every time you say the N word, you have to immediately change it to something else.
Performing the wrong command will result in your elimination.
Or David Lucas. All right, let's go do something else. New Ray-Ban stories approved by the FCC ahead of expected launch. Uh-oh. Isn't that interesting? Now, you guys might remember the Ray-Ban stories, which are these glasses, these Ray-Bans that look kind of just like normal Ray-Bans until you look really close and you realize, wait, is that a motherfucking camera, right? Is that a motherfucking camera, right? What the God? And yeah, that's a camera. And you know, I bought these things, and while I do love the look of them, because they pretty much just look like Ray-Bans, there is something weird though, where you don't really notice the camera when you see me wearing them in person. But I feel weird, even when I'm not recording anything. I feel weird when I'm at the gas station and I'm like, oh my God, I'm wearing my glasses. Do they see the cameras? Do they think, like, it just makes you kind of paranoid. Now, I do like how there is, you know, it's connected to your Bluetooth, and when you do phone calls, and it sounds actually good. Like I can just talk with my glasses, and there's little speakers by where my ears are. So it's like you don't have to have like the earbuds in or anything. I could just take phone calls using my glasses. And that's actually kind of cool. I do like that. And people on the outside don't really hear the person that you're talking to and stuff. But you are just talking to yourself with no earbuds in, which is kind of weird. The video that it takes from it is okay. It can only record, I think, like, I don't even remember because I never use these, like 15, 30 seconds at a time, but it's interesting. I should use them more. Now, the case is a chargeable case that has like a battery in it, because these things only last, I don't know how long, it's been a while. So one thing I've noticed that I always have to keep my case charged because they're always dead. Like I'll be wearing them like, oh, I could use these to take a video. Nope, they're dead. Oh, my case is dead. Anyways, so I don't really recommend them. They were fun. I still feel sketchy when I wear them and stuff like that. So I thought I was going to love them, but I don't really love them. I don't ever use them. But new Ray-Ban stories were approved by the FCC. The current Ray-Ban stories are camera glasses for taking hands-free first-person photos and videos. They also have speakers and a microphone for music and phone calls, but there's no display of any sorts. Snapchat has been selling successful generations of a similar product, spectacles, which I own 2 of those. Meta and Ray-Ban owner Luxottica officially announced work on the new smart glasses at Meta Connect 2022 last year. Last month, the Wall Street Journal reported the new model could launch either in the fall or next spring. Meta Connect 2023 is set for next Wednesday, and that's when the new Quest 3 should be, by the way, next Wednesday. This is when the new Quest 3 probably is going to be at least put on pre-sale, if not sale. So if you're waiting for a headset, if you've been wanting to buy a VR headset, I would mostly recommend the Quest 3. I mean, we don't know really till, you know, reviews come out, but if it's anything like the Quest 2, I mean, for the price, Quest 3 is going to be pretty badass and hard to beat for most people. Anyways, and then during a Instagram Ask Me Anything, Meta CDO Andrew Bosworth strongly hinted at an announcement happening at next Wednesday's Meta Connect. I love my Ray-Ban stories that exist today. The ones that we have under development are even more exciting, and we'll have more to share on that pretty soon, somebody said. So some of the things in the filing documents, unlike the Ray-Ban stories before, is that it supports 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And that enables increased bandwidth and less interference from other devices. They still don't have a display, it's reported. Wait a second, what is this? They also said that the new model will have higher quality cameras, longer battery life, and an anti-tamper mechanism to disable capturing images or videos when the front LED is covered. They're pretty much making it so if you record video, it has to show like a light. I guess these, the ones currently do have a light, but it's so basic. They're small and hard to see that it just kind of looks like a glare when it's on. It's not like a big red light. If I remember, it's just like a little blue light or green light or something like that. And it's like, you have to really look at it and go, oh, wait, is that a light? But that's funny that they're actually doing an anti-tamper mechanism, because a lot of people would like put like a sticker on that light if they want to get creepy. But here's something interesting, and I do like this. A more radical change to the documents reportedly revealed that it will support live streaming to Instagram and Facebook, which that is cool, with viewer comments read by an assistant via the built-in speakers. Wow, now that is cool. And that's cool for people that do those like streams on Twitch and stuff, like my life streams where, where that girl got molested the other day. Did you see that? That was like one of the worst videos I've ever seen in my life. You guys know what I'm talking about? Anyways, we'll find out soon about that. The live streamer. This is scary, dude. This not only is scary, but it made me so angry. I haven't looked to see if there's an update on this yet. Assault, I guess, molested. Is there any update to this? But yeah, there's nothing bad in this video. I mean, it's just kind of messed up. But there's nothing bad in it. Like it's safe for work. It's just kind of messed. Hopefully it doesn't have like a commercial for a dildo at the beginning of this. So this is a live streaming, IRL streamer is what they call it in real life. She was streaming, and what these people do is they pretty much just go around and stream their life all day. It's one of those, I mean, they used to do that. That used to be really popular back in the day. I mean, even, back in the day, there was a thing called Justin TV, and that's pretty much where the JRE, where before JRE, me and Joe and Joey Diaz and Ari and everybody, I used to always stream on there for everybody, like in green rooms and stuff. And Justin TV was what a IRL company. They pretty much streamed all day. Like people would stream all day long. Justin TV even reached out to us and wanted to give us like this laptop, and it had like a modem card in it or something like that. And like a 3G probably. I doubt it was 4G. I don't know. But they were like, hey, we'll give you all this so you could just walk around and live stream all day when you guys are like in a new city and stuff. I don't know why we didn't do it. I think it was just like, that seems creepy. I don't remember. But then Justin TV pretty much turned into Twitch. So that's what Justin TV is now, is Twitch. And they kind of went more of the video game route. And good for them, because like IRL streaming is kind of weird. But what's interesting is a lot of people do these IRL streamings on Twitch. Like that's people that just go around and stream. So, anyways, this is hard to watch. I do not like this. But all right, she's streaming, and some weird ass person comes up to her. Is this the right video? I hope.
Thank you.
He's like following her.
Okay. Listen. Come with me. Listen. Listen, baby.
Oh, please. Oh, please don't hold my arm or whatever.
Listen, I'm alone.
No. No. I have to take a MRT.
Listen.
MRT. I have to take MRT.
Listen.
离开他，
I have to take.
I'm alone.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. No.
Come.
Oh,
My,
please help me. Please help me. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh God, that's disturbing. Oh, that makes me so angry and disturbed. Who is that guy? It was hard to hear what he's saying, but I think he said something about he was in love with her or something. Oh my God, isn't that, it seems fake. I mean, right? It could be. I'm not saying it is, but it could, all that could be. Because it was weird. There was like a part of that video where I felt like there was another person.
What's this?
Oh, I guess we have to watch a commercial now. There was like at the beginning of the video, there seemed like there was another person, and why wouldn't she just be like, help me, this guy is doing something. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because I mean, it seemed like she was like in a public area, and then she was like, no, I want to go down to this subway downstairs, which seems like a bad idea. But I guess there's more cameras there, maybe. I don't know, but like, look, maybe I saw this wrong. Oh, I think I did see it wrong. I thought like somewhere around here, it felt like there was another guy. I don't want to hear the audio anymore, but. Oh no, it was just like a poster or something. See it right there on the right? I thought that was like a guy with a hat on, but it looks like it's just like a side of a building or something like that. Oh, that's disturbing. She was like, no, this was a week ago. Is there any news? Oh, man arrested for assault after Twitch streamer in Hong Kong saved by passerby. Ooh. A passerby in Hong Kong subway saved a Twitch streamer from an assailant after she was grabbed and held against her wall by the stranger. In real life, Twitch streams are some of the most popular on Amazon-owned site, with streamers documenting their travels, blah, blah, blah. During a September 10th broadcast, May 5W was streaming, create an event. Her first day in Hong Kong, when a stranger began groping her, and despite her demands for him to stop, he persisted and followed her into the subway. As the streamer walked down the stairwell, a strange man pushed against the wall and tried forcing himself on her. "I'm not alone," she exclaimed, trying to get the man off, and he began kissing her. "Please help me." Eventually, she broke free and hurried down the stairs just as another man showed up and seemed to guard the streamer. "Thank you so much," she says. Update, man arrested. Hong Kong police arrested a 46-year-old Indian man in the Kennedy Town District of Hong Kong and detained him on suspicion of the indecent assault and outgoing public decency. What? His occupation is reported as a waiter, His name and place of work has also been named on social media after internet sleuths tracked him down. Well, that's good. Look at that creepazoid. And that sweet, beautiful Asian woman. She has too many filters on her. What is she doing with all these filters? Who's this guy? I'm out of here. I hate when people use that many filters on their photos. She's streaming right now, I wonder. Oh, wait, she has a statement.
한국인 스트리머 5월 메이라고 합니다. 저는 2달에 한 번 정도
Well, she
다른
is.
나라를 여행하는 컨텐츠를
She is a hardcore filter girl, right? Is there a bunch of filters on her, or is she just wearing makeup like that? I don't know. She looked a lot cuter in that video, that horrible video we just saw.
그 전에도 트램을 타고 홍콩의 야경을 구경하면서 호텔로 돌아갔다.
I guess we don't need to turn that up, right? She has 340 subscribers on YouTube.
일이라 너무 당황스러워서 소리를 질러야겠다는 생각도 하지 못했습니다. 가방과 셀카봉을 이용해서 가슴 부분을 보호하였습니다.
Oh, she protected her chest. What are you hiding in there? What kind of shadows are you hiding? I'm just gosh.
도와달라고 소리치면서 뛰어갔습니다. 그러자 그 사람은 바로 욕 밖으로 도망갔고 역 안에는 사람들이 더 많기 때문에 저를 쳐다보고 계셨던 분께서 도움이 더 필요하냐고 물었지만 괜찮다고 감사하다고 말씀드리고 MTR에 타고 호텔.
Oh, here you go. Rumors have emerged, including the absurd claim that I staged a drama to become famous and promote racial discrimination. I mean, even when whoever said earlier that it said it was fake, I mean, that's of course one thing I always think about. And we'll talk about something in a second about the fake videos. But one thing is also that guy looked too creepy to be an actor. You know what I mean? Like if they were having an actor, they would have just like a guy with his hair, you know, like a friend of hers with his hair messy and stuff, wearing like almost like a costume. That guy just looked too real, you know? That's what made that whole video very disturbing, you know, because it looked too, like, this is a real creepazoid. You kind of could tell, you know?
자작극을 만든 것이다라는 말도 안 되는 루머가 생겨났고 뉴스나 SNS에서도 일부만 편집하여 영상을 만들어 잘못된 정보를 과장되게 전달하고 있습니다. 왜 소리를 지르지 않고 소극적으로 반응하느냐? 왜 따라오라고?
I have faced criticism about why I asked him to follow me and didn't shout. I get it. When you're shocked, I mean, I was robbed, you know, with a gun to my chest. That's a whole story I've said a million times on a million podcasts. But when it happened, it really is. Your brain kind of just goes blank, you know? And I agree. Something happens when you're under like that much shock and stress. It's like when those fainting goats. Have you seen a fainting goat when it faints? Yeah. But anyways, I could see where, you know, she was just in shock. For sure.
제가 원인을 제공한 것이라고 하는 댓글들, 성희롱적인 댓글들의 2차 가해를 받아
Wait, what was that about? Some comments have even accused me of being the cause of the incident. Jesus.
2차 가해를 받아 그 일보다 더 많은 상처를 받았습니다. 처음 일어나는 일이었고 짧은 시간에 일어난 일이었기 때문에
I feel really bad for her. That's scary for her. But she's also, these in real life, they're opening themselves up to this kind of stuff. She seems like a really nice person, and if she's going to do these in real life things, maybe she needs to have an in real life bodyguard that follows her around a little. He keeps his distance. If she's making any kind of money from doing that, if she's not, she should just stop. Just be a vlogger, lady. May. Sorry, I don't mean to call you lady like that. Hey, lady. No, May. Become a vlogger. Like it's real. It's way better for you. Probably. Just do nice vlogs about your day. Don't do this in real life thing because you're just asking for people to F with you.
남을 돕는 일이나 친절을 베풀 때에도 경계해야겠다는 생각이 들어 가슴이 아픕니다. 한 번도 제가
I mean, this is like these in real life bloggers. It's almost like ego trips, right? I mean, if I were to do an in real life blog of my life every day, that's because I want you to see how awesome my day is, or how I'm helping people and doing all this stuff. That's just extreme ego, and she doesn't seem like she has an ego at all, which makes zero sense. But very confusing.
일의 피해자가 될 것이라고 생각해 본 적이 없습니다. 피해자들은 그 일로도 힘든데 피해자들의 행동을 탓하는 댓글들과 루머로 인하여 또 다른 상처를 받습니다. 피해자들을 대변하여 이러한 2차 가해가 반드시 없어져야 한다.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That was very scary. I feel really bad for her, and I'm glad they caught the guy because of all the things that I've seen lately. That was, when I first saw that video, it really disturbed me. And I think it was maybe a little bit of my own personal flashback of being, robbed and just having a stranger come up to you or something like that. But the fact that she's just alone by herself, and some creepy dude pretty much you always hear about, when people get raped and stuff like that, like how he threw me in a bush or we're in a parking garage. I mean, that's fucking Jing Monkey Taco Bell. So crazy because, guys don't really have to worry about that as much. Like there's never been a time where I'm walking to my car late at night. I'm not thinking I'm getting raped. I'm thinking I might get robbed, but I'm not thinking I might get raped. I mean, just imagine like you get thrown into a van and two guys just butt fudge you all night. That would suck. Anyways, I'm glad I got an update about this. How is she doing on Twitch? She has to be popular on Twitch, right? Yeah, I mean, she's got 17,000 followers on Twitch. This video is only available to subscribers. Okay. So she's doing good on... If you can only watch it for subscribers, and it's got 7,000. I don't know how Twitch works. Whatever. Old man Brian comes on. Anyways, that's cool that he got caught. I do like that. And he's Indian, which is, usually Indian people aren't that, they're very nice people, but they're probably very sexually, they probably want sex a lot more, I don't know. Woo! Let's dig myself back into the ground. All right, we got one more news story we can talk about. Ghost Signal, a Stellar's game, reaches PSVR 2 and Steam VR next month. I don't think we've talked about this game. Ghost Signal is released this spring on Quest 2 and Pico, is an action spin-off of the popular grand strategy. Wait, have we already talked about this? Anyways, it's coming soon. Let's just take a look at this trailer real quick and not thinking about Indian raper guys.
Good day, Captain. Ready as always. Scanners indicate a friendly trading vessel. Investigate carefully, Captain. These parts of space are not safe. Interstellar drive standing by. All weapons ready for combat. More hostiles incoming. Brace for impact. We are not done yet, Captain. Should we begin again?
October 5th, there you go. That's coming out for the PSVR 2. That actually looks pretty sweet. Don't really know what it was. Now, before we go into part 2 and actually jump into... I'm so mad at myself because I can't show you this now because it was a Instagram story. But maybe I could show it. I'll talk to her. Maybe she can send it to me later. But I'll tell you the gist of it. So my friend Madison St. Clair, she posted, not St. Clair, Sinclair. Madison Sinclair on Instagram, a friend of mine. She works in Hollywood a lot, and she's a very talented writer, and she does a lot of stuff. And one thing is that when you work in Hollywood, you notice that there's a lot of sets. Sets like there's a train set, and you could rent this train set out for $100 an hour. And you notice so many like commercials and production companies rent out the same train set. So if you watch a movie, you'll be like, oh, that's the same train set that we used for a commercial. And, it's one of those things like Hollywood, if you're in the industry, certain things. Or like when they record something at Warner Brothers Studio, and you're like, oh, this is the Back to the Future church or the clock tower. It's just being reused. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, she posted this awesome photo of something on TikTok recently. Of course, it's TikTok or it's Facebook, where it was a passenger of an airplane getting in a fight with one of the airline stewardess, and it was completely fake, and it's blown up on TikTok. If I talk to Madison and I get her to send me that photo, or if she reposts it or something like that, maybe we'll dive into that some other time. But what's funny is that she has worked on so many sets that have used this fake, pretty much it's just set up to look like an airplane. So if you need to do a commercial while you're on an airplane, or if you need to do something, film a movie where everyone's in an airplane. And she took a photo of the TikTok or whatever, that Facebook that was going popular or viral. And it was just a screenshot of it. And she just drew an arrow on the ceiling. There was like this strip of lights, and it just looked like dots going down. Like it looked like accent lighting, I guess. And she posted, and she's like, if you ever see this strip of lights in a viral TikTok or Facebook, it's fake. This is actually from a set. Trust me, or something like that. It's a fake plane that looks like a commercial airplane. And I just thought that was so funny. And now I'm going to be looking at every viral airplane video. And if you see this strip of lights, it just looks like Christmas lights almost. Like right where the round roof meets the wall where the window is on a plane. It's like the strip that goes right. And when you see it, it just kind of looks like, oh, that's a normal thing that's on airplanes. But when she pointed it out, I was like, oh, fudge. Now I want to look for this strip. And I will trust, if you guys watch a future episode of Virtual Redban, I will promise you that I will try to find I'll talk to Madison, have her send me that photo or have her post it again. Because I just thought that was so cool. I should have taken a screenshot of that or something. Well, all right, one last thing. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, because a lot of these episodes get deleted. Like the last episode we did, we had a lot of tech problems. We also had just a lot of issues. And so you can find those deleted episodes if you pay $5 a month, become a member, as a lot of you in the chat are. You get those deleted episodes, but hit like, hit that notification bell, and hit that subscribe button. If you hit the notification bell, you can just watch it live. And, you know, if you don't want to become a member, you can just watch it live. But thanks for all you guys for watching, you small and mighty crew. This is the part where actually we go into virtual reality. See, look at that. Look behind me. Look at that. This is what virtual reality is like. We're about to jump into virtual reality. You can just watch me just like you're watching now, but I will be playing virtual reality with some friends. We'll be hanging out, smoking and drinking like we're doing right now, but we'll be jumping around worlds and maybe even play some Squid Games or something. But you have 10 minutes until part 2 starts. This stream is about to end. Part 2 is about to start right back up where you're watching this right now. Or you can just go to my Twitter or my Instagram. I'm Redban, of course. And I will be posting a link to the part 2, which should start in about 10 minutes. So grab a drink, take a piss, walk the dog, go to shopsquad.tv, and I'll see you soon. I usually make something funny right now, but I can't stop thinking about that poor girl getting attacked by that Indian guy. It's kind of messing with me. I feel gross. All right, guys, see you soon.